Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, Lukashenko is a friend in need. So he's not running away. Obviously he's in it as well, so he has to support Putin as much as possible. But I'm pretty sure that he was offered a way out by the people outside of Russia. And it seems like he's not willing to do that. He is eager to support Russia as much as he can without getting his country involved in the war. So he's saying this, according to Ukrainska Pravda from September 20th. Lukashenko says he will not let Russia be stabbed in the back, ready to alert military. Alexander Lukashenko, the self-proclaimed president of Belarus, has declared that there would be no attack on Russian troops through the country. He has called for the borders with Ukraine to be covered and, if necessary, for military forces to be put on alert. Quote from Lukashenko, "And do not accuse us of intending to wage war in Ukraine," and so on. "We have to protect our fatherland. As for support for Russia, I once again reaffirm there must be no attack from behind, to the side, from the side, or from the flanks of Russian troops through Belarus, and there will be none." Details. Lukashenko also recollected that he had already instructed to work out the practice of military actions on the border with Ukraine, taking into account the counteraction experience as well as the border coverage. Lukashenko called the situation dangerous in the context of Russia's war against Ukraine and urged the authorities under his control not to be afraid of anything and to alert not only regular troops but also the people's militia, which is allegedly being formed. Quote from Lukashenko, "There is no need to be afraid of anything. If we need to put some military unit on alert according to the norms of wartime, we have to do it. If we have to mobilize it to see whether the people assigned to the units are alive, we must mobilize it. It is necessary to alert the territorial defense forces, then we must do it. If we need a people's militia to check on the spot what kind of fighters we have and what weapons we have, then we must do it." Background. It was reported on September 17th that military training in Belarus had been extended again until the latest September 24th. So Lukashenko stays the course, and believe me, he was already offered from the Americans, obviously, and other Western countries a deal, but basically the United States is the ultimate decision maker in here. He was offered, I guarantee you, a lot of deals just to drop the Russians in any way possible. I think he was offered still power, being recognized as the leader by the Western countries, with time to be, allowing democracy to flourish over there, allowed to free elections, and all that. But with him in power, and they will not touch him, and so on. I guarantee you all that was on the table. It's no way that they did not talk with him. Why? Because that's the way you do. You try to avoid war by paying people, giving them perks, offering them positions. That's how it's done. So the fact that he's saying this now, he didn't say it yesterday, he didn't say it the day before. Why is that? The counteroffensive already started and ended about what? Maybe 7 days ago, ended and started 20 days ago. So why didn't he say it then? I think there's some rumors, I think there's some pushes. But you may say, well, I mean, you just talk. No, I mean, and why am I saying this? First, I have no evidence to support what I said in a hard evidence. To say, well, I read this, I heard it. No. But history tells us and shows us a pattern in the same kind of circumstances. Deals are discussed, always are discussed, because what's hard? It's hard to go and fight someone. It's easier to avoid it. So instead of, taking the guy's property and go and fight for it, to try to make someone else take it for you. You don't want you to get harmed. You don't want you to get involved in it like that. So the same thing here. I'm 100% all these guys. And Kadyrov the same way, the leader of Chechnya. He was also, not that he's a big, but probably he is, but he's a staunch supporter of Putin and Russia. The same. I guarantee you he was, contacted and so on. And, in diplomatic channels. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think that Lukashenko or Kadyrov would come out and say, hey, I was contacted by the Americans and so on, and they said that. I tell you why. Because, look, if Putin and his government collapses and the West of you, which is the United States, takes control over Russia, as it did, more than as it did under Yeltsin, then what do you think is going to happen with Kadyrov? Do you think that Kadyrov is going to be the Chechen leader anymore? No, there will be a little swift move that's going to remove Kadyrov. I guarantee you that, and you know that. The same thing with Lukashenko. If Putin falls, Lukashenko is going to be overthrown overnight. I guarantee you that. He's just going to be killed. That's what I mean, overthrown, killed. That's how things are run over there, not like here, weasel-like. They're over there going, bam, bam, out, next. What do you think? They throw everything they can in this. And besides, I don't think they can trust the West. So Lukashenko, I don't think he has any illusions that if he's promised something, they will fulfill that. I don't think so. And you say, how? Look at NATO expansion as a clear, beautiful, small example. And not only on that, history provides us with many examples when deals were offered and then the deals were broken and so on. So no, not really. And besides, why would you believe those guys? They just get in and out of I don't want to say contracts, but discussions and all kind of Iran deal. The United States just walked away. So should you try to trust them again into dealing with them again? Why would you deal with them again? I already dealt with you. Why should you negotiate again? And then after 3 months you don't like something, you negotiate again. What if we all do that? We're going to have a continuous negotiations. That's why when you have a negotiation and you reached an agreement and you sign over there, you can't just say, okay, I think after 2 months you realize that, hey, I think I got screwed. I don't want to do that anymore. Is that the way it works? No. And it can work if you're strong enough, but then you lose credibility. Nobody will make deals with you, or if they're going to make deals with you, they would expect you not to hold your part of the deal. So the same here, Lukashenko, yeah, he has to defend, make sure, but he's more defending himself than the Russians. But he is defended through Russia more than without Russia. So he has to throw himself into this all the way. He can be half measures in this situation. The same with Kadyrov. Where are you going to run if Putin goes away? There's no way to run. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.